Unless your Doberman has some sort of underlying condition, you probably get compliments all the time about how smooth and shiny the coat is. But then comes late fall or winter, and suddenly that beautiful, smooth, and shiny coat is dry and has dandruff. You're doing all the things you normally do, so what gives? Well, hang out with me for the next few minutes and we'll hash out what causes this and, more importantly, what you can do to help remedy the situation. There's a bunch of reasons Dobermans might have dry, flaky skin. They might have an intolerance to ingredients in their food. They might have a diet that inadequately meets their nutritional needs. They might have allergies to something in their environment. They may have hypothyroidism or a staph infection or internal or external parasites that are literally sapping the nutrients out of their body. Or they might have the natural skin oils being stripped from their coat by an inappropriate shampoo. But what I'm specifically going to cover in this video is dandruff that pops up in the cold weather. The primary culprit of this cold weather dandruff is, well, the weather. And I'm sure you've noticed that in cold weather, your skin gets really dry and may even crack, and you have to use a lot more lotion. That's because cold air tends to be less humid. And this is exacerbated when you turn the heat on in your home, further drying out the air. And all that dry takes the moisture out of your and your dog's skin. Skin continuously grows, basically from the inside out. The top layer of the skin is called the epidermis, and under normal circumstances, it replaces itself about every 20 to 21 days. Normally, these discarded skin cells fall off at such a slow and steady rate that you don't even notice it. But whenever you add the drying effects of cold weather, the top layer of the epidermis dries and peels and flakes off at such an accelerated rate that it suddenly looks like you have this explosion of dandruff. When you're battling this cold weather dandruff, a multi-pronged approach yields the best results. So we're going to start with a supplement omega-3 fatty acids, what most people think of as fish oil. The role of omega-3 fatty acids in the maintenance of your Doberman's skin and coat cannot be overstated. While most of our dogs fall very short of omega-3s in their diet, they get more than enough than they need of omega-6s through their diet, and they're able to convert fats to omega-9s on their own. So it's just the omega-3s that need supplementing. A normal Doberman in good health needs about 2,000 milligrams of omega-3s per day. But it's easy to be fooled by the manufacturer's labels. So it's important to know how to decode those labels in order to administer the correct dose. For starters, you can't go by the front of the label of the number of milligrams of fish oil. You want to turn that label around and you want to look at the amount of DHA and EPA in milligrams. Then you need to look at the serving size. Let's look at a couple of actual label examples. This omega-3 supplement is a great example of how misleading products can be. The average owner would look at this and see that each capsule has 1,000 milligrams of fish oil and think, this is great, I just need to give 2 capsules. However, the all-important EPA and DHA only adds up to a total of 300 milligrams in every capsule. To get close to the 2,000 milligrams, you would have to give your Doberman 6 to 7 capsules daily. This label can also be misleading at first glance. The product is marketed as triple strength, and when you look at the EPA and DHA total of 2,160 milligrams, you're thinking, wow, this is really triple strength. But you have to look at the serving size. In this case, you have to administer 3 capsules to achieve the 2,160 milligrams of EPA and DHA. Here's an actual label that doesn't give you any useful information as to the actual milligram of EPA and DHA in these omega-3 chews. You could probably obtain this information by contacting the manufacturer, but my instinct tells me that if the manufacturer is hiding this information on the label, they don't want you to know how low the EPA and DH levels are in that product. Finally, this is a label from a bottle of liquid fish oil. The EPA and DHA total 1,195 milligrams per teaspoon. So you'd want to give 1.5 to 2 teaspoons per day. If the bottle comes with a pump, be sure to measure how many pumps it takes to fill a teaspoon so you're supplementing correctly. Unlike omega-3s, coconut oil doesn't have a lot of scientific studies to document its effect on canine skin. The studies that are cited in dog-related articles are actually studies that were done on humans or rats or even petri dishes. So it's kind of a stretch to assume that the effects will always be the same on a dog, which has different skin. However, there is empirical evidence. That would be information that's gathered by someone like you or me, just by observation or experimentation, that coconut oil can help with your Doberman's skin when it's taken internally. You can add about a tablespoon daily to your dog's food, or some dogs just love to lick it right off the spoon. Be sure to use unrefined, cold-pressed oil only. Refined oil has been altered to make it usable for high-heat cooking. Don't use expeller-pressed or fractionated coconut oil, both of which can be lacking in nutrients of the unrefined, cold-pressed gold standard. Massaging coconut oil into your Doberman's skin can aid in the hydration while reducing some itching and irritation and flaking. To try coconut oil as a massage, rub about 1/2 to 1 teaspoon of unrefined oil vigorously into your hand to convert it into a liquid state. Using the pads of your fingers, massage the oil into your Doberman's skin, replenishing the oil onto your finger pads as needed. Remember, the purpose is to massage this into the skin, not the coat. If you apply it just to the hair, very little of it's going to work its way down to the skin. Now, if you use coconut oil as a topical moisturizer, it can attract dirt and dust to your Doberman's coat, especially if you use it too heavy. So I would just use it very sparingly and only on those parts of the body that really seem to be having a problem with dandruff. Increasing the humidity in your home during the cold weather will really help combat your Doberman's dry skin and resulting dandruff. It's as simple as adding a humidifier to the couple of rooms that your dog spends the most time in. With 3 levels of output, I love how quiet this unit is and how much mist it produces on high. A Zoom Groom is a great, inexpensive product to have to stimulate a Doberman's skin and coat. I've been using one for well over 10 years. Before I talk about how to use the Zoom Groom, I want to talk about the difference between the Zoom Groom and the Sleek Easy, which I did a video on a while back. The Sleek Easy is specifically to pull out dead coat and remove it whenever you can just tell that the dog has an abundance of coat and some of it's just looking kind of deadish and trashy. You just want to kind of get that out. The Zoom Groom, on the other hand, it does definitely work on pulling out dead coat, but its main purpose is to stimulate the skin. Of my girls, she is the one that has the most dandruffy skin, which is not saying much because I do the things that I am recommending in this video. So what little dandruff she does have, I attribute to 2 things. One is that she will be 9 in about another month, and senior dogs just don't metabolize and clean as much nutrients as they do whenever they're much younger. So even though she's given fish oil, she just doesn't benefit from it as much. The other reason I believe is because she wears a light sweater when she's in the house during the wintertime just to help keep her warmer. And I think that coat prevents the penetration of the humidity from the humidifier going into her skin. I think those are the two reasons that she's the worst of the three girls. Now, what I wanted to show you on her, because of the little bit of dandruff she has, is a Zoom Groom. And I'll show you this one. This is the newer version, and it has little rubber teeth on it. Very gentle, very pliable. This is my very old one, as you can tell, which I still use like whenever I'm doing baths. So Zoom Groom is going to massage the skin. It's going to be bringing up nutrients, bringing up some skin oils, bringing up oxygen, so that it benefits not only the skin but also the hair and coat. To use the Zoom Groom, I like to start up at the neck. You're just going to start going in circles. And you'll find that the dogs love these Zoom Grooms because it is a nice massage while you're doing this. And see, she's going to start doing the air scratching. Yeah, because it feels good, right? Yeah. So we just go round and round in circles. This is, while I'm doing it, pulling up the dead hair. It is pulling up the dead skin cells, making them come to the top. Okay, you can see all this dandruff that has been pulled up now. Take the Zoom Groom after I've done all my circles and go straight with the growth of the hair. I'm pulling that out, or most of it, and look what's come out. And I can just keep doing that. There's really no too much of this. Valen would especially say that because she likes the Zoom Grooms. They really like lean into it because it feels so good. She got the doing the air scratch, man. Yeah. Oh, a tushy. Yes, the tushy is the best part, she says. That and the neck. Ooh. Yeah. And obviously, I'll do her other side as well. Now, because this does pull up all this dead skin, got some more here. We've even got, I think, more dead skin now coming up here. Dandruff. Because it does pull it up, I like to go back with a damp cloth, just dampen the washcloth, and go over the coat again in the direction of the coat. And that just kind of pulls off those dead skin cells as well as some of the extra hair before I would let her go. Obviously, I'm going to do her other side. If your dog has bad dandruff, I would be doing it every day. And the more you use this day to day, obviously, the less and less dandruff you will have that's coming up because you're going to be getting that dead skin off and hopefully getting it replaced with newer, healthier skin. So I like to, during this dry weather, address dry noses and the paw pads. Paw pads tend to get, of course, drier in the winter than any other time of year. So by moisturizing them, you prevent them from cracking so easily, which is very painful if it happens. The reason I like this one is coconut oil, candelia wax, hemp seed, mango butter, jojoba oil, cocoa butter, chamomile, calendula, rosemary, and natural vitamin E. So everything in there is very safe for the dogs and no petroleum. The wax that's used in here is a tree leaf wax. So it's very safe. And then if you wanted to, after you did the paws, it probably won't be necessary, but you can always go back just with a washcloth and just kind of wipe them a little bit just to help prevent any of that excess getting onto your floors. Oatmeal shampoo is known for its moisturizing effect on dry skin, reducing inflammation and irritation, and calming itching. Be mindful, though, that your Doberman's skin, because of the cold weather, is already susceptible, so you don't want to scrub hard. Instead, you want to use your finger pads or gently massage the shampoo in with the Zoom Groom. Be sure to follow the label instructions to know how long to leave the shampoo on your dog before rinsing. While some shampoos will say that it's okay to dilute their product, just remember that the more dilute, the less effective it's going to be. And when you're rinsing your Doberman, rinse really, really well. And when you think you're done rinsing, do it one more time. And make sure that you get, again, not all over the body, but in the armpits and down the legs and in between the toes. This is because any kind of residual shampoo or conditioner that's left on the skin is going to exacerbate drying out and irritation. My last tip is going to sound like one of those, well, duh, but it's simply to encourage your dog to consume more water during the winter months. This can be accomplished by adding some warm water to your dog's kibble or some beef broth or bone broth to their kibble. You can add water-rich vegetables and fruits to their food, or you can give them as a side treat, like canned no-salt green beans, pieces of apple or banana, or some sort of melon. And if you'd like to know how to treat or prevent Doberman chin acne, watch this video. Take a bow. Good job.